Good morning. We're continuing in Eicha Perek Dalid Pasuk Vav. Vayigdal avon bat ami mechatat Sedom. The sins of our nation, Bnei Israel, at that time were worse than the sins of Sedom. Hafucha kemoraga. That Sedom was flipped over in a moment. The destruction of Sedom happened in a moment. The whole thing was flipped over, and the source is right here, this pasuk. Velochalu bayadayim, and hands didn't strike Sedom. Meaning, you see that the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash was worse than the destruction of Sedom, because the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash was long. They had a siege against us, and then they penetrated the city, and then they finally destroyed the city. It was a long time, and there's a lot of suffering. And it was through an enemy nation that hit us and killed us, God forbid. Sedom was in one moment. The whole thing flipped over, and everybody died, that was it. So as Rashi points out, it shows that if it's a much worse of a punishment, it shows that the sin must have been much, much worse. Unbelievable. Even more worse than Sedom. Pasuk Zayin, Zaku Nezireha Mesheleg. There were people in Yerushalayim that were like Nezirim, like Sarim, like ministers, and they were like clean like snow. Tzachum Chalav, even nicer than whiter than milk. And they were clean people. They were respectable people. Admu etzem mipeninim, and they had redness to them, like lush. They were wealthy people, and even better than certain like red jewels. Sapir gizratam, like their figure was like a sapphire. Such good people as far as looks and as far as wealth, but when it came to the time of the destruction, chashach mishechor ta'oram, their faces and their figure was even blacker than black, darker than black. Lo nikeru b'chutzot, they were not even recognizable in the outskirts of the city, strewn there and dead. Tzafad oram al atzmam, their skin shriveled onto their bones, yavesh hayak ha'etz, and it was dry like wood. Tovim hayu chalal lecheref pasuk tet. It was better those that got killed by the sword, mechalale ra'av, than the bodies that died from famine. Shehem yazuvu medukarim mintinuvot sadai. One of the explanations is at least their yazuvu is flowed from the place of stabbing, at least flowed something from them, from the thing that they ate. Someone that got killed by stabbing, presumably he didn't get killed by famine. At least he died with a full stomach. Unbelievable. Worse than someone that dies from Rav, from famine. And Rashi explains over here that the enemies, Yimach Shemam, they would on purpose make barbecues and meat and good smell, and then we couldn't eat. We didn't have any food, and that was enticing us even more and dying from the starvation. Moshe al-Shich adds, as we mentioned, how much worse it was, because number one, it was a prolonged destruction until the destruction, and that an enemy destroyed us, which is both two things worse than Sedom, where Sedom was from Hashem, and it was just very, very quickly. And also, the Chalalei Cherev was better than people dying from famine. He says, Adarab yachziku tova lehorgam. He writes here something unbelievable, that if you're putting ourselves in that mindset, and we're seeing the situation, they would beg, just kill me already. And in history, in the time of the Nazis, it was things like that, and these type of stories, you could just imagine, because of the great, great suffering. It's the very, very, very difficult Pesukim about the destruction. Be'ezrat Hashem, we're feeling the Avelut, and Keshem, שמתאבלים על ירושלים, בעזרת השם זוכים ורואים בשמחתה, ובעזרת השם will be very soon to see the שמחה בירושלים במהרה בימינו. ויחננה מלך השם רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות, יספיך אחיל בעליהם תורה מצווה שנאמר, אדוני חפץ למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.